One of the most dangerous things we can teach our children is that they better be perfect. Because the moment they aren't perfect, and they won't be because they're human, the moment they aren't perfect, they fall into despair. This is what psychology talks about as shame. Now, what is shame? What is shame? Because sometimes we use the word shame incorrectly. We use the word shame incorrectly. I'll define what I mean by shame in the way that I'm using it. There is a difference between healthy remorse, healthy guilt, and shame. And here's the difference. When you make a mistake, healthy remorse says, I did something bad. Shame says, I am bad. Do you see the difference? And sometimes we do this with our children. You did something bad versus you are bad. You did something bad versus you are bad. Shame is when you internalize, I didn't just make a mistake. I didn't just do something bad. I am bad. I am bad. My actual self is bad. And when a person internalizes shame, I'll tell you right now, they will not be motivated to try. Shame leads to despair. I'll give you an example. If you feel, have you ever had a situation where you feel, say you hurt somebody that you love, you disappointed your mother, you disappointed your spouse, a very close friend, and you feel so ashamed of yourself. And you feel so ashamed that you don't want to face them. Has that ever happened? When you feel so ashamed and you don't want to face them, what does it make you do? Does it make you get closer to the person you hurt? Or does it make you run away? You guys understanding what I'm saying? The same applies with Allah. That when you feel unhealthy shame, does it make you go closer to Allah or does it make you run away? And that's the danger of it. And by the way, I want to tell you something else. Shaitan uses this. When you make a mistake, Shaitan isn't going to come and say, you know, you just made a mistake. It's okay. You can go repent. The doors of Allah are open. Allah is the most merciful. Just go back. Repent. That's not what Shaitan says. When you make a mistake, Shaitan will come and say to you, you are worthless. You are a bad Muslim. You are not worthy of going to Allah. You are not worthy of forgiveness. So just run away. Go further. He'll come and say to you, you committed that sin, you might as well take off your hijab. You might as well stop praying. What are you going to do? You're going to be a hypocrite. You're going to be doing all these bad things and then walk around with hijab as if you're some sort of angel. You're just a hypocrite. You should just take off your hijab. Why are you going to the masjid and acting like you're so religious? You should just stop going to the masjid. You should just stop praying. Do you know what Shaitan is doing? Here's what he's doing. It's like seeing a person who's drowning and you call out to them, why are you even trying to swim? Just stop trying to swim and drown. And unfortunately, we have in our community sometimes a culture where we aid Shaitan against our brother and sister in this very way. I'll give you an example. Did you see what she was doing? Did you see what she was posting? Did you see what she was wearing? She might as well take off her hijab. Well, what is that? That is aiding Shaitan against your sister. Why? Because you saw your sister drowning. She's struggling. She's struggling. Imagine you're on the beach and you see someone who's struggling to breathe, who's actually in the process of drowning. What are you going to do? Well, this is like taking a stone and throwing it at them and saying, why are you even trying to swim? Just drown already. And then calling one another and being like, look at that person drowning. Like gossiping about them. But have you done anything to help them? To pull them out of the sea? And this is how we have to see it, is that shaitan uses despair and shaitan uses shame. Shaitan makes us want to hate ourselves and want to beat ourselves up so that we don't feel worthy of going back to Allah. And that's the trick of shaitan. It's a tool of shaitan. And we cannot have resilience. We cannot have spiritual resilience or psychological resilience unless we are able to have a proper understanding of what it means to be human. If we expect perfection, we will not have resilience. If we expect perfection from ourselves or from this life, we will not be able to be resilient.